Alright, I hope you guys can hear the music, hear me. Oh! Let me mute that tab. So there's no echo playing through. Should be good to go here in a minute or two. Gonna be a nice short stream tonight. Or at least I'm gonna try and keep it short. I know my streams are all over the place in length. But I'll flip over the camera here in just a second and we'll get into some packs. And we'll do the alt-art tier list. Alright, everything looks good on my OBS here. I'm just gonna start early. Because why not? I can do what I want. It's my stream. Alright, here we go. Hope you guys are all doing well. Hope everyone's having a good week, good weekend. I'm currently exhausted because I've had to essentially raise a kitty this weekend. Because I'm the only one take care of her like for the weekend. But I'll get through the weekend. I'm exhausted. I'm a little bit scatterbrained, but that's all right because we're gonna get into some packs here. Because also, I mean, who doesn't want a kitten interrupting their sleep? Like, I'll take that on any day over a ton of other problems, you know. So we're gonna have 7 Chilling Reign for Reek Fam, then we're gonna have 10 OBF, Obsidian Flames, and then also 10 151 for David. And we'll do the alt-art tier list. So, shouldn't be too long of a stream. Going nice amount of packs here. A little under a booster box. 27, so. Let's get into this. We'll start with David. Just because he placed his order first, so we'll go first come, first serve. And we got some Obsidian Flames and 151 for him. Oh, these are facing the wrong direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Same on this side. Perfect. And we'll just grab these out too. 7 Chilling Reign. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That'll be for Reek Fam. Put these in the background. Move the TCG out of the way. We'll get into the packs here. Start with Obsidian Flames for David. Just because it's not as exciting as 151. Maybe someone loves the set, but for me, it's alright. The gallery is nice, it's just the set is way too small. That does mean you have a high chance of pulling a Zard or maybe a T-Tar. What else is in the set? You have the Pidgey line. You also have... I think that's mostly it. There's not much in this set, honestly. Regular hollows to start. Spoink, Shuckle, and Scovillain. I don't think there's any really playable bulk in Obsidian Flames, but I want to be mindful of the bulk prices too, just because it's, Well, I was going through my bulk the other day, and there were multiple cards that were like $3, which was kind of nutty to see. Like, Ionos, actually from Paldea, have gone up to, like, $3 for the normal one. Which is ridiculous to me, because... Right over here, let's see. These are all non-hollows. Oop, not those. These are all the non-hollow versions. Some of them are deck exclusive, but... these Ionos here, which I have 31 of, are apparently $3 each. Right now. Judge is like 25 cents. But, kind of nutty. So, I mean, just keep an eye on your bulk. All right. Same with what was it? There was some random bulk in Lost Origin that was doing well. Some stuff in, I mean, Astral Radiance had some great bulk for its time, but I think it's mostly rotated, or at least the decks that wanted to use it rotated. So those cards aren't really in play anymore. Larvesta, Heatmore, and Anente. An all fire type pack. Okay, I hope you guys are doing well. I don't know. You know what? I'm just gonna talk about whatever. There's probably no one watching right now, which fair. It's a Saturday, but let's just talk about what I have going on in my life. Obviously I'm trying to help raise the kitty. Ooh, Melmetal, regular EX. I'll take a double rare to start. But I don't know. It's been tough recently. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like for a lot of people, this year has been kind of tough. Everyone's kind of hitting their breaking point on a lot of stuff, whether it be financially or culturally or what. I don't know. I feel like I say this every year, but I can't wait for this year to be over. Stoutland, Charcadet, Gita. Because it's cheesy, but it's like, yeah, new year, new start. Which, you don't really need a new year for that. You could just decide to change whenever, but it always helps to have those sort of calendar days to get you through it. I'm excited to do the alt-art tier list, though. Oh, we got a Caesar illustration rare. This is a gorgeous gallery card. I forgot about this one. This is actually one of the ones that I really like from this gallery. Which overall, the gallery is kind of meh. At least for me. It's just way too small. It's literally a 1-to-1 copy of the gallery from Obsidian Flames, but one of the galleries is a promo for us, so... You know, slightly worse. 3 more packs here of Obsidian Flames. Then we'll get into the good stuff. The 151. Which I was seeing apparently on app. Oh! I mean, it's a... it's a Reverum. But it's an ultra rare. Whatever. That's an ultra rare. We take it. It's not a Zard. Still a 1 in 12, I think. No, 1 in 12 is the illustration rare. This is a 1 in 20, I want to say. 2 more Obsidian Flames. Yeah, but been kind of a rough year. I'm hoping for whoever's watching this that you're having a good time. Hold up, we have something. We got the T-Tar. This is actually... Okay. Say what you will about the Terra EXs, but I really like this one. I think it's super good looking. Oh, and of course I dropped it. By the way, I'm using the new... I don't think I pointed it out, but I'm using the UPC playmat. It was actually pretty high quality. I mean, it's got double-stitched edges and whatnot, so that'll help, but I will say, since it's like an off-white color, it's going to be difficult to keep clean if I'm, well, one, cat hair is going to be everywhere, at least for me. Last pack here of Obsidian Flames. But also this desk, like, I eat lunch here usually, to be honest, so, you know. Maybe I just shouldn't be eating lunch on my desk, though. Wiglet, Lapras, Caesar. Nothing huge in the last pack, but... I mean, we did get 4 hits out of 10 packs. So, I mean, not bad. Plus, you got, what, 2 rare cards? You know, a 1 in 20, 1 in 12. 1 in... What is that? It's a triple rare. That's just what I call, like, the V-Star, VMAX, Mega EX, Tag Team GX, Terra. Those are all triple rares, because they're slightly more rare than regular EXs. And in this case, this is textured, so it's, like, actually different. you know, it's kind of distributed the same. It's weird. It's essentially a sub-rarity, kind of like trainers are to ultra rare slot. So, anyway, enough of my rambling about rarities. Let's get into 151 here. The big boy packs. Do we have a first pack hit? We do. We have a Kangaskhan regular EX. And actually, I heard apparently some of the reverses are selling for like $1. Which, it's $1. But when you get 2 reverses in a pack, obviously not all of them are selling for $1, but it helps, right? With recouping your cost of opening up packs. Because always remember, I want to make sure everyone understands this. If you open up packs, on average, you will always lose money in the short term. That is the way it's designed to work. At least the secondary market. You know, because Pokemon doesn't really engage with the secondary market, but they kind of do. Just to know when to reprint stuff, but they keep an eye on markets. I'm hoping we could see a God Pack, because I have not seen one of those. And we've ripped actually quite a bit of 151 now. Like, not just me and my personal rips, but for the stream as well. Though I know they're very, very rare. So, maybe I'm just entirely hopium here. Oh, shit. We have an SIR. David, we have something big for you. Let's see what it is. Yo! David! The #1 SIR in the set. At least in terms of monetary value. It's not my favorite of the set, that's Zapdos, but... And you have a Golem EX behind it. Wow. That is a pull, though. That is a pull and a half. Let's check the back. His condition in 151 has been notoriously terrible. But this looks really good quality overall. Let's see. It's looking pretty flawless to me. There's probably stuff I can't see with the naked eye here, but I mean, it is a little bit warped, but that's something you can fix with a heavy book. You know, that's not necessarily a problem, or a defect even. You know, even me putting it in a top loader here will probably fix that. There we go, Charizard EX, special illustration rare from 151 for David. Well, that's a $100 and something card. So, congrats, David. Because I'm pretty sure all these packs are worth less than what you paid. Or, what you paid is worth less than the value of this one card. So, again, I know I was just saying, most cases you lose money, but some cases you do, quote-unquote, win. But remember, that's very, very unlikely. Please remember that. Don't be gambling, kids. No gambling. We still have a bunch of packs of 151. That was literally our, like, first main hit out of that. I should probably, toss these. Slowpoke, Machamp, Magneton. Alright. Just some bulk there. Let's check this next pack here. Nidoqueen, Graveler, and a Weezing. Alright. I mean, even if you get nothing else from the packs, the Charizard is worth more than the sealed packs, which is good, but obviously we want to see more than one hit out of 10 packs. just in terms of, well, I guess we have the 2 double rares, but I don't know. I barely count double rares as hits nowadays. Charmander reverse. No Cosmos energy yet, which is interesting. We got 3 more packs here of 151. Coughing, Grimer, Nidoking. Damn. 2 more packs of 151. Come on. Let's see a regular illustration rare. Maybe. Or, yo, the Mew EX. That's a good pull. For double rare, that's probably the best pull you could have gotten. Actually, it's a fairly large double rare size. Kind of like, the one thing I'll say for Obsidian Flames is the double rares and triple rares. So the EX cards are... there's a lot of them, so some of them actually have some value. Since, you know, it's not one in every box for your specific card. But anyway, we have last pack magic here for David Wilson. Thank you, my dude. I appreciate you. Let's slow roll this. In case it's a god pack, why not? Tangela, Coughing, Psyduck, Ivysaur, Muck, no god pack, Seal, and a Jinx EX, alright. No Cosmos, though. That's interesting, though. No Cosmos energies out of 10 packs, but then we got SIR and like 4 EXs, so I mean, not bad. I mean, especially the Charizard carries that, obviously. Ooh, forgot to sleeve the Golem. I know it's like 50 cents probably, but whatever. I'm taking care of the cards, alright? Don't get mad at me. Ooh. Alright, we got our bulk here for David. You got peeps tonight, dude? What's up, Callum? How are you? You're doing cardio in a minute? I'm trying to keep this stream high energy. I gotta be honest with you, though. I know I am a trained actor, so, like, performing to an empty room should be easy for me. But it's still tough, to be honest, you know? Not just for like, being entertaining, but... Dude, I don't want to complain because, you know, the job is easy of opening up cards and talking, but yeah, I will say I do enjoy it more when people are able to make it out or stuff like that, because then I can riff off of what people are saying and have conversations instead of talking to myself. But we did get the Charizard illustration rare, the special one, Callum, so should have bought in, I guess. But, actually, knowing your luck, David would have still pulled it. It wouldn't have gone to you. But thank you, David. I appreciate you, my dude. Yeah, I mean, Callum, we have only 2 orders for tonight. Granted, take my money and give you no hit. That's true. That is actually very true. Alright, in that case, Callum, why don't you just do what you did last time and buy packs for PLK? That worked. That means it's an infallible plan, and it'll work every time. And every amount of money you spend on me, I will give you free profit. There's no holes in my plan. That works great. What's up, PLK? How are you? Yeah, it did work out great for you, but Callum, I don't think your package has arrived yet for both of your guys' hits. Which, by the way, I looked back on that. I didn't realize the Charizard's like $30, the full art. Because there's so many ultra rares in the set. Especially like compared to the special illustration rares and hyper rares that, you know, you have the Mew and the regular Charizard full arts both like in the 20, 30 range, which is kind of insane. Because you got to consider, that's... You pulled it again today? Callum, I got... Ooh, the full art. I actually don't have one for my collection yet, but that's because I'm selling every single 151 card I get. Almost everything. I have one card that I'm keeping in my collection, which is it's a really good copy of a Zapdos. Rip more? Callum, dude, if I had the money to rip more, or if people bought more, I would rip more 151, but it's something where right now, with the bills I have coming up, I can't safely risk that money right now. Just because, you know, this is my job. If I had other income coming in from elsewhere as well, it would be different. But right now, you know, the store is my full-time. 40 packs of CR? Okay, Callum, that's why I think the bad luck is just you. Ooh, you got some JP. Ooh. Dude, Japanese 151 is super good. Unless you get Wigglytuff. Or Jinxed. I guess what else is bad? Like a Bills transfer. Alright, anyway. Up next here we have Reek Fam with 7 Chilling Reign. It's not 40. It's just 7. By the way, these are from Build and Battle Kits. I ripped the 8th pack because nobody bought it. The 8th pack had a single holo in it. So, it was a green and white code card. Though, I will say it was first print run. So let's get into this for Reek Fam. I know he's out with his buddy right now, but appreciate you, my dude. Thank you for showing support. Ooh, there we go. See, this is actually why I really want to rip more Chilling Reign. And first print run is really what you want, which is this code card. And this is a good one. Hold up, we have Urshifu. Oh, it's just a V. Ice Rider Calyrex V. We'll take a hit, though, for first pack magic. Oh, and the other thing, too, this actually might have decent bulk. I don't think the Chilling Reign bulk is as good as, like, whatchamacallit? Fusion Strike or Astral Radiance Lost Origin bulk. Or even Paldea bulk. Paldea bulk is doing well. Next pack is a Rockruff Zebstrika. Non-holo. Ooh. None of those are playable. Oh, did I show you? You weren't here during the stream for this part, but I was looking at my bulk. Callum POK, I don't know if you've gone through it recently, but every single Iono card sells for $3. I'm talking the non-holos are $3, and the reverses are like $3.50. So I have 31 of these. I say they sell for that, but I have to actually sell them. But their market price is like $3. But... Oh, also, Callum, I will let you know I did put up all the... And POK also, if you're interested. I only say Callum just because he usually is the one who puts in orders. But whenever I say that, I'm talking to both of you. Just the household in general. I know you're both collectors with different goals, though, as well. Come on, Chilling. Yikes. Deerling. Four more here. Let's see if we can get more than just one V out of Chilling Reign. Cool. It's not looking great so far. Crushing Gloves. That is E regulation, so nope. +1 lock. Oh yeah. Oh, but I listed up a bunch of new singles as well. The lack of hits? Well, dude, speak now, but... Yeah, because, Callum, finally you're the one not getting, like, screwed over. Don't worry, this one pack's gonna change it all. Alright, you ready? Because I'm gonna pull a alternate art Moltres. Trust me, it's in here, 100%. And if it's not, I will scream as loud as I can. Nope, just a Gengar. Regular hollow Gengar. Man, I love Chilling Rain. I'll also show you what I put up to after these packs, before we get into the alt-art tier list. But... oh my god. That's tough. Slurpuff. Caitlyn. Okay, this is not looking great so far. Don't? Yeah, I know you said you're broke, but the first word out of your mouth when I said I'm putting more stuff up was, what do you have? I believe I remember you saying was you asking specifically what I was putting up. And then getting mad when I wouldn't tell you. It's pretty interesting for someone who claims to not be able to buy any singles right now. I'm messing with you. Last pack. Damn. Oh yeah, no. Trust me, I'm messing with you guys. I understand completely. Fire-resistant gloves and a wheezing. Hi, Coco. My cat just walked into my room. Hi. Usually I have my door closed during streams just because I forgot to bring a trash bag up, so I'm kind of just throwing, like, energies on the ground. Because I usually trash them. But, also, I'm going to throw in another hit or two. Out of 8 packs, I mean, what do you expect to get? 151 or bust? I feel that. I don't know if you guys watched the Danny P video, but he was going over the math of it as well. I mean, I've done the spreadsheet as well, but essentially opening up 151 on average has the potential to be profitable with, like, average luck. So it's really good for, you know, people who run stores and stuff right now. But I will say, too, the general availability of packs makes it difficult to sell packs. So what I'm considering is I might just buy a bunch of more 151 and just keep ripping it and stock the store with singles and just keep selling them. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, yeah, dude, I'm selling out of singles too. I actually sold the in the first weekend I told Callium about it, but I sold the trio plus an Alakazam, so 4 SIRs for, I want to say, 210 shipped. And then what's crazy is they've gone up since then. Which, that was something I was not expecting. But I also stand by my decision, because I truly believe that 151 is going to hit a point where it, at least some of the cards collapse. Not the whole set. Yeah, demand definitely went up, because I think word of mouth on this set has been really good. I mean, just the amount of people reaching out looking for master sets is insane. What do I want to give Reek Fam? Oh, here, I'll show you what I added as well. Just because I'm in this little box. Let's throw him some cheap stuff. How about this? I'm gonna give him a comfy pre-release. It's like $1. And I'm gonna give him a Japanese Radiant Eternatus from V-Star Universe. So. Yeah, but demand is up. The additional print wave has not really hit the market. At least the full force of it. because we still have kind of artificial scarcity of products right now. At least I think it's artificial, and well, it's more a logistics thing, right? They just haven't distributed them all out yet. I'm sure everything's done printing, but we have another wave, at least in the US, of like sealed cases of 151 ETBs coming out in, I believe, November. So it's something where I'm not too worried long term about getting a hold of my 151 singles. So because I really learned a lesson with UPC's better value. Agreed. UPC is better value, but you have to think of this as an opportunity in November. It's not an opportunity now, because we don't know where the Miu UPC is going to land in value. You know, even in a couple weeks. Better hits overall. I mean, that's something that I feel is like so subjective, and it's hard to one prove, but two to like. Also, thank you, Reek Fam. I'm sorry you got screwed over, but there's some singles, and you know the deal. I'm gonna toss you extra stuff whenever you do poorly on packs. But I will say I did have, I had good hits with the UPC, which actually PLK's packs were half from UPCs and half from ETBs. For last stream. Those hit pretty well, but it was also mixed products. I think actually I had a collection box in there as well. And then today, where we pulled David the Charizard SIR, that was from either an Alakazam collection box or an ETB. Because I just combined those two together. Oh, here's what I just added though. But out of 7 UPCs, I mean, that's a decent sample size. I will say it's decent, but it's also statistically insignificant. Because that's just under 2 cases, right? Because you could have just had 2 busted cases. That said, my anecdotal evidence also supports yours. But I have the Charizard EX, which I know it's playable right now, so I listed it. I have my Lugia V-Star. Just while it's still playable, I want to list it. I want to list it both of these, because I know there's people actually collecting 151, similar to Crown Zenith when it dropped. And the Mew is very playable. I mean, there's a $10 double rare, just because of the, well, okay, it has a really stupidly busted ability, though. I mean, it's, you draw until you have 3 every single turn, and then you can also just use your opponent's active Pokemon's attack. It's kind of nutty. Whatever. Terry X's, some double rares and stuff. Here's the good stuff. The good shit. Got a Grusha SIR. Boss's Orders SIR. Ready for the big one, Callum? My Mewtwo from Hidden Fates is up on the store for 50 USD. It is very minty, though. So, that's why I put it closer to, like, actual market. And then I also listed up these. This is from Clayburst, the Gold Energy Grass. And then I have 2 cheaper alt arts, Duraludon, Medicham. I was considering listing Greedent and Skuntank in the background here, but I might just keep them. Because I feel like at their current price, I feel like it's not even worth selling an alt-art at $5, you know? It's like I'd rather just hold on to it at that point and say, oh, I have a $5 alt-art. 10 I mean, 10 of them's nice, but I don't know if I need 10. Where my music stop? Oh. Yes, continue watching. Alright, let me pull up this alt-art tier list now. We'll kind of go through. Obviously, this is going to be entirely subjective. But let me see if I can switch the screen over to... Hey, there we go. Alright, can you guys see this alright? And I figure too I can... Here, let me pull out the ones I have as well so we can take a look at them. Dropping for now. Sounds good. Have a good one, dude. I'm gonna go through here and we're gonna rate all the Sword and Shield alt-arts. Let me just grab out my binder. Alright. I think that's all of them. Yep. Alright. Also, just for the record, I don't believe this takes into account any of the SIRs from, the trainer gallery sets. But I mean, we'll go through, and we'll just rate the artwork, honestly. Okay, so the first one here, we have the Empoleon from Battle Styles. Let's start. I don't own this one anymore. I did own a copy of it for a while, and I was a huge fan of the card. I think the addition of so many lesser used mons is actually a strength of this card. Mostly because I think Empoleon itself, it's not like a super popular mon, but I think together with these, it's kind of like the A-lister out of a group of like C-listers, I just like the pose. It's cute. It's fun. You get to see the phalanx kind of falling off. I'm between an A and a B on this. I think I'm gonna start at an A, and we'll just adjust it if we need to. Okay, we have Single Striker Shifu V, which I have here. Let me switch over the camera. Look at this real quick. So we got the Single Striker Shifu V alt art. It's fun. It's fine. It is not my favorite alt art by any means, but I do really like the background. I feel like this card is just significantly better in Japanese, though, to the point where I don't even think the English card is the same thing. And I'm not a big fan of this card by any means. So I think I'm gonna have to put this in either a C or a B. It's like a B minus C plus. So I'm gonna start at C. Yeah, let's leave it in C for now. It is a nice card, but it's not my favorite. And it's kind of, compared to a lot of the other alt arts, it's kind of fallen behind. Alright, back to the tier list. We have the Rapid Strike one. This is an easy D for me. This card is just kind of boring. I don't know why they had to do an alt art for both versions of Urshifu at both rarity levels. I feel like it would have been a strength if they did one as a VMAX, the other as a V. Because otherwise, like the Rapid Striker Shifu VMAX, once we get to that card is gorgeous. But the regular V just kind of sucks. So, I don't know. I mean, the perspective's kind of cool, but it's... I don't know. It doesn't do it for me. I guess on to one of the more hyped cards that, well, is for many collectors. I'm not big into this card, but I do like it enough to own it. And I do think it has some cool perspective. Ooh. We have the Charizard V alternate art from Brilliant Stars. Let's try and get it at like a action angle. Make it look like it has some depth there. I think... What do I think? So we have two, I guess, alt art cards with Charizard battling stuff. I think this is the lesser of the two. But I think it still goes kind of hard. Especially against Venusaur. I think this card is not an S tier. I think it's an A tier. I think it's a solid A tier, though. Like, it's pretty good, you know? And I'm sure in Japanese it's gorgeous. In English it's, you know, pretty good. And it's still A tier. Right? A tier is not bad. It's the second best you can do. Switch back to the wheel, or sorry, to the tier list. We'll put this in A. Another one I don't have here. The Tyranitar V alt art from Battle Styles. Now, this is the one card that I think from Battle Styles deserves an S tier. I know a lot of people love this card, but it's for a good reason. The card is just gorgeous. I mean, you have one of the most popular Mons, not from Gen 1, what, Tyranitar's Gen 2? Yeah, because then Metagross was Gen 3. But then you have, what, Pignite in the background, which is kind of a weird choice. But it's... I kind of like it. Because he's just... Look, I've been there. I've been in Tyranitar's exact situation, and I've been in Pignite's place. I've been both Pokemon in this image. And I think it would be blasphemous for me to put this anywhere lower than S tier. So I'm going to keep it at S tier for now. Yeah, we'll go with S tier. Alright, Lumineon. I think I still have a copy. I do. Switch this over. Let's take a look at the Lumineon. That's actually... Look, I rag on English texturing a lot. That looks alright. It looks pretty good. The problem, though, is that I'm always gonna say, oh, that looks better, whenever I see the Japanese version, you know? No matter how good the English one looks. It hurts me as a collector knowing that I have a worse product in terms of quality, you know? That said, I really like the effect here of just the way light sort of dissipates as you go into the depths. Obviously, there's still near the surface, so you have a ton of light in here. But really fun coral work, and it's just very serene. I think genuinely, this card is worthy of an A tier. I mean, feel free to be mad and disagree, but you're wrong. So, sorry. You just have the wrong opinion. Alright, let's switch this back over. Luminion, A tier. And we can sort within the tiers near the end. Honchkrow. Honchkrow is fine. For me, this is just automatic C tier. It's fine. It's not a Pokemon I love. It's not an art style I particularly love either. But I can definitely see what they were going for and how this can appeal to certain collectors. It just doesn't appeal to me. Alright, we have Ice Rider Calyrex V Altart from Chilling Rain. I don't own a copy of this one anymore, but I did for a while. I think this might go into B tier, and I'm gonna sort of elaborate on why. In a similar vein to something like the Empoleon, you know, using lesser Pokemon, I think in this case, which is kind of weird, Calyrex is the lesser Pokemon at least in this picture. Because for me, it's very much about the environment, sort of being on ice, the fact that you have the Deerling there, and I really like the landscape of it. But that said, it's something where I feel like it's held back by being a Calyrex card. So it's kind of, you know, it's a difficult balance. But I think they printed too many Calyrex like cards, and there's just way too many. I mean, there's the 4 Altarts, 2 Golds, and then you have your Full Arts, you have your Double Rares, you have your Triple Rares, you have your Rainbows, and you have your Special Illustration Rares too from the Trainer Gallery. And the Special Illustration Rares, there were 4 of those. So, like, if you just go SIR and Altart, you have 8 Calyrex cards. And I think only, like, 2 or 3 of them should have been really made. That's just my opinion. Yeah. And I don't want to shit on anyone's work. I mean, the artist isn't watching this, but if they were, I would want them to know that they're still a great artist. It's just not for me. Alright. On to one of my favorite ones here. This is the Arceus V Altart from Brilliant Stars. You know, I say favorite, but now that I'm actually looking at this, I'm not sure if it's... I think it's definitely A tier, but I don't think it's S tier. Only because we have the special illustration rare promo one that came in the Arceus V figure collection box, where the this little figure came from. And that card, it doesn't have, texturing on it. It's just hollow. I think, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It might be faint texturing, at least in English. But then the Japanese one also has the stamps, which is better on the SIR, and then the Japanese Altart just looks better. So then the English Altart, like, a lot of the appeal was in the texturing, because you kind of wanted to see how the light sort of emanates off of Arceus, and it's showing the creation of the world, essentially, because Arceus is the god of Pokemon. I think it's like 90% of the way there, but I feel like it's missing something for me. I'm not sure on what element exactly. Let me... Maybe it's because, genuinely, I think, I think it's the perspective. I'm not a fan of the perspective of this shot, but I am a fan of the concept and the artwork. But if we were looking at a different perspective, I think I would enjoy it better. Either way, though, it's definitely still A tier. I'm not knocking it down to B tier. It's not an S tier, though, for me. Ooh. Alright. We have the Zero Aura alt. I do have a copy of this, but it is an error copy. It just has ink splotches on it. I didn't grab it out, but it's not a good copy to show as like the example, because the ink splotches kind of mess with the art a bit. That said, I have come around on this card a lot. I wasn't a big fan of it at first, but sort of spending time with the artwork, I really like the... I don't know, it's evoking like a sense of, you know, naive adventure, which is just fun. And I think this artwork stands up well enough to be an A tier. God, I'm putting a lot in there. There's a lot of good artworks, though. Alright, we got the Leafeon alt. I don't own a copy of this anymore. But this artwork is very nice. Okay, let's... on the correct screen, we're good. Where does the Leafeon V go? I really like the tired look up. It reminds me of something my cat would do, especially in a pile of leaves. I think that's very fun. I don't think it's, you know, jaw-dropping gorgeous. So I'm gonna put it in B tier. It's definitely like a B plus though. All right, Galarian Rapidash. I don't have a copy of this. Mostly because I have mixed feelings about it. I really like the color. I also really kind of like the aesthetic choice of making it, you know, like Last Unicorn style. Very, you know, fairy aesthetics. Like from a high fantasy, you know, novel about a unicorn or something. But I feel as though you could have zoomed this shot out and put like a spotlight on Rapidash, and it would have been better, as opposed to it being so close up in the frame. So for that, I'm putting it in B tier, personally. Yeah, I'll keep it in B tier for now. Also going in B tier, though, I think has to be... this one, I don't even have to talk too much about it. Well, or does it go C? No, it's better than... It's a B tier. This is the Single Striker Shifu VMAX alt art from Battle Styles. Again, a lot of your Shifus, but this is the worse Urshifu out of the two. And it just doesn't look that much different from the regular VMAX, which is what really sets it apart. You know, I get it's the Gigantamax form and stuff, but it's such a similar pose and position. It's not showing off a lot that other cards aren't. So it just, you know, I get it. It could have been cool. I don't think it hit the mark. So I'm gonna leave it in B. It's okay. I would not be mad if I pulled it, like I would be if I pulled some of the other alt arts, but I would be kind of disappointed when I could have gotten like a Tyranitar and Empoleon, or once we get to this, the other Shifu. All right, Galarian Articuno. I don't want to be too harsh on the Galarian Articuno, because I have not seen it in person. This is one of the few alt-arts I have not even seen in person. At least up close. I might have seen it behind a display case, but... the rest of these I've owned at least once. Yeah, I'm gonna... look. Sumi, this is a C+. Alright? It's in a bubble. There's no real reason. It's not doing much. And I don't know. It doesn't do it for me. It feels kind of uninspired. It's not very groundbreaking. Where I feel some of the other artwork is. So that's kind of the difficult thing about this, is that the bar is so high for Pokemon artwork that a lot of good artworks can just be C tier. You know? Battle styles again. Alright, this one's going up in A tier. Rapid Striker Chifu VMAX Alt-Art. I do own a copy of this, but this is actually in... I have it sent out for grading right now at CGC, so I have to wait to get that back. But I really love the perspective of this shot. Just sort of making it, because, you know, the VMAX is supposed to be a gigantic thing. So in my eyes, you should have the perspective be towering over you. At least in a Mon where it should be physically intimidating, you know, like Urshifu. You know, one thing you can do is just have other things for scale in the picture, which the Single Strike one doesn't have, but the Rapid Strike kind of does, because it kind of creates its own perspective, because it's not just a straight-on shot. It's not a full frontal here, so... But I think it just goes hard. Like, there's not much more to be said other than I think it looks cool. A tier. End of question. Alright, next one I have here. Calyrex V Alt-Art. This is the Shadow Rider from Chilling Reign. I will let you know, this is actually... believe it or not, one of my favorite alt-arts from Chilling Reign. I know it's kind of crazy pick, but hear me out, okay? And the English texturing is pretty good, but it's not going to show the same, you know, depth. Or let me take this out of the sleeve actually, since I'm gonna ride for this card a bit. I'm gonna shadow ride for it. So here in the foreground, right, you got Squovit. Two of them. Let me try and give you, yeah. Look at it from this angle here. This kind of perspective shot. As if you were the Squovit. Like, this art is actually really cool. Because imagine being a Pokemon and seeing a mythical creature that's supposed to, like, create bountiful harvests and, like, prosperity wherever it goes. And you're just chilling on a tree as a Pokemon that loves to eat berries. Now, because Squovit goes to Greedent, which we have in the back there. And seeing the bountiful Lord walking by. But also just, I really like the shot of, it kind of looks like they're hiding, but not really. You have the sunlight streaming in through what seems to be like a... It's kind of a thin but foggy, or I guess overcast, snowy forest. Which, really love the vibes with that. I think the perspective is great. The texturing for English is very good. It's very precise. And I think for, you know, this is what, a $15 card? This is a card I would gladly spend $15 on for my collection at any point in time. And it's why I've never sold this. Like, unless this goes to, like, $60. Like, if this goes to $60 tomorrow, I'd sell it at 60. But that's only because I think it would go lower than 60 again. So. But this, to me, this is a card I want for my collection long term. I think this artwork is incredible. I think it's incredibly overlooked right now. Which, granted, Chilling Reign is a very competitive alt art set. There's just so many. But I'm going to put Shadow Rider Calyrex V kind of in the middle of A tier. I think it's better than the Charizard. Oh, we got the runny boy. The running chicken. Roadrunner is going to go in... Oh, here, let me switch this back, actually. I think this is going to be a B+, A- card. I think this is like the best of B tier. But it has a case for A. I don't think it has a case for S. I think I'm happy with this. It's one of the best from like the... If you were to get an average alt art, right? If you would say this is the average alt art, I would be happy to get that one. Right? That's kind of where I draw the line. But I would be happier if I pulled the Glaceon here, which I believe I do have here somewhere. I do. There you are. Switch this over. Let's take a look at good old Glaceon. I really like this card. Because to me this is like a... It's like a... I'm sort of imagining a small town that has like a town stray cat, you know? But in this case, there's a town stray Glaceon that's just like taking a nap on a park bench in the middle of winter. It's such a comfy feel, and I genuinely believe the perspective on this is perfect. I would not have framed this any differently. I think there's like the perfect amount of showing sort of shrubberies and different types of texturing here too, which sadly is not as apparent in English again, but you know, it's really nice to show the world, I think. So that is definitely an A tier for me. I think up next we have the Moltres from Chilling Reign. We do. Okay. This is a no-brainer, no contest, S tier artwork. I don't own it in person. I've never seen it in person. But it is an S tier. That card is probably going to go down as one of the best artworks to come out of Sword and Shield era. If not the best. It's definitely up there. I'm not sure, well, we'll see what else ends up at an S tier. And we'll kind of put them against each other. We'll see. Ooh, another one I have. We have the Galarian Slowking. Alt art from Chilling Reign here. Here we are. I really just wanted an excuse to look at my cards. This is one of the first alt arts I pulled from Chilling Reign. And it has stayed in my collection ever since. If you have to ask why, then I think this card is not for you. Alright? But for me, I mean, just look at this. Obviously, there's my ring light getting in the way here. I need a new light, but... like, this is the most acid trip card of all time. And I think it really suits this Mon. I personally can't even think of how you would reframe this. Because of how abstract of a piece it is. That's one of the many reasons why I love it. And it is absolutely, for me, it's either an A or an S tier. Genuinely. I know it's not priced that way, but again, this is all art critique. This is not... I don't care about monetary values of cards. It's about the art. Long term, it's always about the art. Anyone who says differently is, you know, not following too closely. Yeah, I'm putting this in A for now. And we'll go from there. Because I feel like there's still some stuff better than it. But it's one of the best alt arts they've made. For me. We have an Espeon now. I think the Espeon is fun. But it's not my favorite. I think it goes, like, right next to the Leaf... maybe a bit above the Leafeon. I like it more than that. And actually, I'll put this... yeah, Espeon B tier. I really like the books. I like the sort of drawn aesthetics. It's just not my favorite. I don't know. Maybe that'll change. Maybe I'm being too harsh on it. But it's top end of B tier for me. Ooh. Another cheapo that I have here. Oh, and I have seen that one in person. Let's go to the next cheapo, Golurk V. Now this one is interesting to me for a couple reasons. Number one being why. Just like a general why. Of like, why did they make Golurk an alt art? Why did they put it in Evolving Skies? But I think this creates a really fun story of kind of this, you know, I won't say friendly giant, but just this sort of giant creature that's kind of, it's kind of lifeless, right? I mean, it's like a construct. It's a ghost steel type, or ghost ground. One of those. But I think the Swablu and the Thievul, and just the addition of the construction areas around, just using it sort of for carrying shit, I think it's good. I think it's fine. I don't think it's great. So I'm going to put it in C tier. Probably below the Urshifu. I will say, though, this card is improved slightly by the existence of the Charizard V special illustration rare from whatchamacallit, V-Star Universe. It's in our Zard UPC. But that card seemingly goes along with this one because Charizard kind of just messes up and then takes a nap in the field. It's kind of a fan theory, kind of real. Let's move on to the next one here. Golurk's alright. Blissey. Blissey's a C tier for me. Doesn't do it for me. It's soft color palettes. It's sort of meant to look like a really cutesy, like, house, like a family home, or like a nurse's place. It's like an old person's house to me. But that's not necessarily the vibes I want from my card. And considering there's also the Blissey V special illustration rare from Silver Tempest, I'd rather have that one. So, like, out of my alt arts, I'm not sure if I would want a Blissey alt art. But what I do really want is a Sylveon. To the point where it is the top of A tier for me. I do own this card, but it's out with CGC for grading right now, so I don't have a copy to show. But I think it's super fun. It's literally the cat knocking over stuff on the shelves, right? But it's Sylveon, it's got a bunch of cutesy stuff. Evolution. Sylveon's also my evolution. My favorite evolution, so that's a bit of a bias, but I think the art is really nice. It's not as good as the VMAX alt art, so maybe I'd knock it down a little bit. I'll put it below the Slowking, because I think the Slowking is unique. And actually, I'm going to move Lumineon kind of down here. Alright. You ready for something controversial? Tornadus is S tier. I'm not going to take any questions on this. It is S tier artwork. I mean, you have the full force of the wind, you know, blowing out a bunch of Pokemon that were just sitting in a tree eating food. So cute. Knocks out a bunch of them. And they're all like the starter and early game Mons. Like, it's such a good card. And it is a card that anytime, if I ever pulled that out of Chilling Reign, which I never have, I bought my copy. And then sold it, actually. But that is an alt art I would be happy to pull out of a pack. What I would not necessarily be happy to pull out of a pack, personally. Where is it? Oh, I have it in the thing. It's the Metacham alt. Metacham alt is D tier for me. It doesn't have a lot going for it for me. I think the perspective is weird. I think the choice of everything was kind of weird on this. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't know what to say other than I'm sure the artist has made great work. I can't remember who made this one, but it's just not a card that speaks to me. And it's a card that if I pulled that as my alt art out of Evolving Skies, I'm gonna be very mad. You know, well, more so, I'm just gonna be super disappointed. Because, like, I don't necessarily even want it for my collection. I do want the Umbreon, though. I want the Umbreon a lot. About as much as the Sylveon. The Umbreon V, for me, is next to the Sylveon. Yeah, I would say so. The Umbreon V is about there. It's pretty good. I really like the perspective shot of the Umbreon. Sort of behind the backs of all the crowd, looking up the Umbreon, who's kind of taking control of the streets here. I really like it. In fact, I actually like that better than the Moonbreon, but we'll get there. We'll get to that upset later. Dragonite V alt art is absolutely in at least A tier for me. I think this is potentially S tier. So I'm putting this at the top of A tier for now, and we'll sort of rearrange. Once everything's on the tier list, we'll kind of look back, see if there needs to be any adjustments. Okay, Rayquaza V alt art is going right into S tier. I don't care what you say. I prefer it to the VMAX alt art. I think the inclusion of Zinnia in this is much better for the card. I think the way the sort of sunlight is partially blocked out, super cool. Rayquaza is an awesome Mon. I don't know what else to say other than the card is badass. Huge fan of it. And it's absolutely deserving of an S tier slot. The Batman Noivern, though, is going to end up as... Well, let's take a look at it. Alright, I'm tentatively putting it in B tier. Tentative. Let's take a look. The Batman Noivern is really cool. Don't get me wrong. Personally, I would have enjoyed this artwork more had Noivern sort of been scooted into the top right of this frame. So you kind of just see him getting ready to dive down, as opposed to sort of mid-dive there. I'd rather see it at the beginning of the dive. I think that would be cooler. Or to see it like crouched above the city would be like a really Batman-esque feel. I think it's really good, but it's not my favorite. It is a card that from Evolving Skies for an alt art, I would be okay with pulling. But knowing the other alt arts in Evolving Skies, I wouldn't be ecstatic about it. I'd be happy that it's an alt art, but I wouldn't be sitting there, you know, cheering to the ends of the earth about my Noivern alt. Duraludon V alt. This is a C tier. It's Raihan eating with a Duraludon. Look, it's all right, but it's not great. I think even the Articuno is better than that. I think the single striker Urshifu is better than that. This is where I'd put it so far. It's probably about the same as the Golurk. And now, look, I mean, we all know where this one's going. It is undisputably one of the GOATs of, you know, the alt art. At least, well, especially the secret alt arts, but just all alt arts. However, it is not my favorite alt art. Also, I'm moving Dragonite to S tier. Fuck it. Dragonite is too good. Dragonite's going up there. Blaziken's gonna go over here. Stick with that for now. Next card, Ice Calyrex. Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX alt art. It's a mouthful. This one is B tier. I'm gonna speed up a little bit because I've been at this for a little bit. Forgot how many alt arts there are. I think it's B tier. Funnily enough, I do actually like this one better. So maybe this goes to C tier. It is kind of boring. And there's not much helping in an English release, at least. There's no... Yeah. We're doing that. C tier. Leafeon VMAX. This might upset people, but I'm going to put it as one of the best in B tier. Alright? And I'm going to elaborate on why. Just a little. Because it is entirely subjective, so, like, literally doesn't matter where I put it on the list. I don't know why it's doing that. That's why. I don't know why it's doing the action that it's doing here in the picture. To me, it seems like there's no reason to it. You know, a lot of the other cards, it's kind of like Noivern's kind of swooping down, because that's what it does. Galarian Zapdos is running real fast, because that's his thing. He's the running dude. Slow King's on an acid trip because it's poison and stuff, and it's, you know, a slow King. Got stuff like Charizard in mid-fight. You know, it just... It's not all the way there for me. Especially when you compare to some of the other VMAX alts from ES. I think it is the weakest of the Evolution VMAX alt arts, genuinely. It'd be controversial to say, but I'm gonna stick with it. And what I think is actually better looking than it is the Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. I'm going to put that kind of here, above the Glaceon V, in A tier. So I have seen this only in English, but I have heard of the Japanese one and how gorgeous it is. But this is very much like the texturing and the light, the way it reflects is so much to the card, that the artwork itself can't be too much. Otherwise it would take away from a lot of the cards. It's sort of, it would be too busy, you know? I really like the card though, and I think the texturing looks gorgeous. I do own a copy of it. It's with CGC right now. I sent out a lot of my alts to CGC. Same with this next one actually, which is going in S tier. No question. Glaceon VMAX alt. And it's going to... probably be there. S tier is looking pretty good, actually. I know the Tornadus is controversial, but... well, actually, we have another S tier coming in, though. Look, we have the Sylveon VMAX alt art. I don't own this card, so I can't show it off, but it is absolutely top tier. Wait, this is missing Astral Radiance? What? Yeah, wait, this is missing Astral Radiance, Silver Tempest, Lost Origin. That sucks. I just noticed that. Huh. But this is going S tier. It is actually gonna go... this is one of my favorite alt arts they've ever made. So that's going in my number 2 slot for the whole era. For alt arts. Okay, it's time for me to break some hearts and share some real truths about this card. It's only A tier. And it's an A- at that. A-. The skyline is incredible. Alright? The issue that I have, again, like the Leafeon, why is it doing that? Specifically. And why on this sort of, you know, castle, spire, peak? It's not a place Umbreon is known for. The moon is something that Umbreon is known for, because you have to, you know, evolve it at night, and via friendship as well. But I think this card would have been better had it not been on a building looking up at the moon. I think you could have achieved this same effect, showing that it's massive, not using, like... I think it's kind of silly the way it's just kind of... because there's the Espeon VMAX, which we'll get to as well, where it is kind of on a building, but it's because it's napping on it, and it's kind of playful, and that's the idea. Whereas the Moonbryon feels like it wants me to take it seriously. But I kind of... Like, what's it doing there? What's he up to? It's just my thoughts. It's A- for me. Still pretty good. Not incredible. And for me, definitely not $500, $600. Rayquaza VMAX. This one's good. But for me, it's B tier. It's below the Leafeon. It's alright. I think the Rayquaza V-Alt is significantly better looking. I think it's just sort of B tier. It's kind of boring. It's big. Yeah, you have the Terra raid battle, or not Terra, the whatever raid battles, sort of shooting up in the sky, creating lights, which is cool, but. And now for something that nobody is surprised for, Duraludon VMAX Alt Art. It's the bottom. I hate that card. It is the... It is one of two VMAX Alt Arts I've ever pulled from ES. The other being the Glaceon, which I'm very happy with. But I also pulled the Duraludon. Which is why it's such a miss for me in so many areas. I don't like the artwork. I don't like the Pokemon. And I don't like that it's competing in the slot against other artworks that I do love. So that getting that feels even worse. It's not like it was in a set I could skip. Can't skip out on Evolving Skies. It's, I don't know. It's a huge disappointment for me. I don't know why they went so hard on Duraludon. And then they made an evolution of Duraludon, so, like, what now? Celebi Alt, this is A tier. This is going up, like, next to Zeraora. I really like the composition here. It's slightly askew, which I think is one of its biggest strengths. You know, because Celebi, fuck gravity, it doesn't need it. It can just kind of float around in Celebi. Time doesn't even stop it. Why would space? You know? But I am a big fan of that card. Insane that it's only $20, by the way. But again, also, some of my favorite cards are super cheap. At least comparatively. I think that's a gorgeous card. I think its biggest flaw is being in Fusion Strike. Genuinely. And I mean, speaking of Fusion, here comes the rest. Ew. I mean, alright. We have the Mew V. The Mew V is fun. But it is a B tier for me. It is on the same level as the Espeon. Maybe it's a little worse than the Espeon. It's kind of here. It's very mid. I do like that it's kind of just roaming in amongst a bunch of other Pokemon. I feel it would have been stronger if there were more Pokemon. And it was in like a huge crowd of Pokemon just sort of blending in. Because can't Mew also like go invisible or something? Isn't that like a thing it's done? I'm pretty sure it can. But it's just kind of, I don't know. I'm not fully invested in the card. It doesn't fully get me. I think it's cool artwork. I really love the colors. Just doesn't... It didn't fully come together for me. But again, that's my opinion. The artist, I'm sure, is fantastic. Sandaconda, though, is my least favorite alt art. Well, other than Conkeldurr, which Pokemon Go alts are also not on here. I'll do those alt arts. I'll like add it in later on a different stream because I'm still exhausted today. I want to finish up this way at least before I go to bed. Because also it's like, most of the time it's the VODs anyway, which shout out to the VODs. Anyone watching these, I mean, I hope people are watching. If not, that's fine, but, you know, because ultimately, as long as I enjoy it, that's all that really matters. And what I really enjoy is the breakdancing Genesect. I say really enjoy, I like it. It's fun. It's a B tier, though. It's not the best. It's not the worst. It is fun. It's kind of a similar niche to the Mew for me, so I'm gonna put it right next to the Mew. And both actually have Smeargle in it, so. Ooh, Greedent. All right, let's take a look at Greedent. Okay, I'm not going to be too harsh on this card, because I know the market already has been harsh on this card. And I feel like a lot of what I would say about it has already been said. But I want to just say it is not as bad as people make it out to be. Personally, I would be happy to have this in my collection in like 5-10 years. I'm not necessarily happy about it now. It's okay. But there's something in it that... something tells me I feel like this is going to do well. I really think the collaborative effort between Squovan and the Greedent is really doing it for me. Just sort of how cheery and happy they are. Nom 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 incisors. I think it's fun. I think it is a top-end C tier. In fact, I'm going to put it as the #1 C tier alt-art for me. Again, it is not great right now, but it is something I find fun. I think it's a fun card, and I would be happy to have it. And it's not going to burn a hole in my collection either, you know? Because also, I can't lose money on the card. Because it's rock bottom. You know, it's like having a Conkeldurr alt-art. It's like, at that point, you know, there's no point selling it. Why would I take $3 for an alt-art? Few more left here. Inteleon VMAX alt-art. I have owned this card in English. Have not seen it in Japanese. It's from Fusion Strike, and it's the only VMAX alt-art from Fusion that I've pulled. So again, but I will say, in all seriousness, like my personal luck aside, because I think all three of the other VMAX alt-arts are better. It's okay. It's good. But it's just good. So I'm putting it in B tier. Kind of near the bottom. It's like a B, B minus. And right next to it is about where I'm going to put the VMAX Mew. Actually, the VMAX Mew might go to C tier. It's going to C tier. It's... Look, it's... The perspective is too close. For me. I believe this would have been better if we saw a distant thing of Mew playfully, accidentally, like, using telekinesis to float stuff around and, like, accidentally causing mayhem. That would be a great card. Which is kind of what it's doing here, but we don't see the effects of what it's doing, you know? It's too zoomed in. And I want to see more of it, and I feel like that's really hampering the artwork for me. And, like, the viewing experience of what it could have been. Now, I talked a little bit about this earlier, but the Espeon VMAX alt-art, this is a card I am okay with it being on a building, obviously, compared to the Moonbryon. So much so that I think this brings it up to probably the high A tier. Like, I think this card is really good. I do like the Sylveon V more, though. So I think it might end up right here. Sort of in the top middle of A tier. And above it, obviously, is going... Look. I have to say it. Out of the alt arts on this list, this Gengar is probably my favorite of them. But not by much. Everything in S tier is S tier, obviously. And, like, the gaps between these aren't so massive that it's, you know, not worth having. Maybe, like, the C and D tier, you'd kind of think twice, but B and up, it's like, might as well. Alright, we have a couple more here for this tier list, and then I guess I'll just put the rest away. Because I have Silver Tempest, Lost Origin, Pogo, and AR here as well. That sadly aren't on the list, but let's switch over here and go to the... I have my promos here from Evolving Skies. Switch the camera. Alright, let's talk about the Flareons first. These kind of go together. Not really, but... Alright, Flareon. Keep in mind, this is also a promo in English. It was exclusive to the Evolution Premium Collection box thing. Alright, the texture is not that good in English on this card. But the artwork is so fantastic on it that this is an A tier for me. This reminds me of like a cozy date in... Because this could also be in the same world, or like the same day as the Glaceon alt art, and just indoors. Of someone with a Flareon keeping themselves warm during like a winter's day. It's so cozy. And that's going in A tier for me. It's going... This is going high up there, actually. This is going above the Espeon VMAX for me. This is one of my favorite... Actually, this might be one of my favorite alt arts from the era, too. It's up there. And it is just a promo, as well. Pretty good for a promo. I mean, granted, it was an alt art in Japanese, blah, blah, blah. But it's a promo for us, so... It was much cheaper entry. Now, the Flareon VMAX alt. This one intrigues me. For a couple different reasons. Let's see if this will actually show. I do like this sort of texture work on the clouds. It's not as strong as the Japanese version, which I haven't seen in person, but I've seen on video. I just don't know why they put Executor in it. Like, they couldn't have chosen any other Pokemon? Or were they just, like, given, like, yeah, put Executor in it? Because in my eyes, this would be great if it was, like, a jumbo version of Hide and Seek. And you had him on, like, hiding there from Flareon. You know? Maybe even just a normal Flareon. Or an Eevee. In there in place of the Execute. I think would create a much better story. So I don't know. It's good. But this is one of the weaker VMAX alt arts for me. So I think for that reason, I'm going to give it a B tier. It's not bad enough to be a C tier by any means, but it is not as good, especially compared to the V alt art, which is fantastic. Oh, here, let me put this in B tier. And we'll kind of put it above the Dancing Genesect. Next up, we have the Vaporeons. Let's take a look at the V first. Vaporeon. V alt art. The ultra rare one. Alright, so again, one of my main complaints with this is one of the same complaints I have with all English cards, which it's just that the texturing is not as fine, it's not as precise, and thus a lot of the parts of some of the cards, like especially at the top here, these sort of leaves, corals, and stuff like that, it would have added more variety to the viewing experience. I think it's an okay alt. I don't like this one that much, though. I'll be honest. I think it might be the weakest of the evolution alts for like the V ones. But it is a promo as well. So that's something where, you know, we did luck out there. But I think I can't put it any higher than... You know, I'm putting it at the top of C tier, okay? You can hate me if you want. It's just such a competitive, like, art market. At the same rarity, you know? So when you're ranking artworks against other things at the same rarity, it gets kind of tough. This, on the other hand, is one of my favorite alt arts they've made. I know I said that a lot today, but look at this. You got Horsey, Milotic, you got Feebas, Too Frillish, some Mantine, Mantike. What is that? Aracuda? No, that's Wishy-Washy. And then just seeing, like, slightly above the water there. I think that is the best part of this card, is it's not entirely underwater. You're still seeing, like, the sort of waves. And you see how massive Vaporeon is in comparison to the other Mons, but you're also getting to see how the light sort of interacts with the water as opposed to the natural land. Which is so cool. I think this card is S tier. Genuinely. I think this one is an S tier artwork. I think this will probably be one of the most sought after ones. But I think ultimately that's just because the artwork is... I don't know. It's more preferable to me. That said again, obviously, everyone has different art opinions. This is art. You know? You're supposed to have different opinions. That's the whole point. It's to get you to talk about it. It's all art is. It's a vessel to talk. It's like a subject. But this is going in S tier for me. And I'm putting it, like, next to the Glaceon. It is so good. Now we have our last two on this tier list. I mean, there's still alt arts from a couple different sets, but maybe we'll do those with, like, the special illustration rares as well. We'll sort of rank them all. Jolteon V. Start with the V again. Okay, I have one glaring issue with this card. Well, actually two, because I also have my light glare issue. That was the dumbest joke I've ever told. This card looks completely different in Japanese. Because this sort of... right here... I don't know what it is. It's like a trail of electricity or movement or whatever you want to call it. It's just kind of matte in English. It's not really doing much. It's just kind of there. Compared to the Japanese one where it's like, that's actually creating, like it looks like it's moving. And that's the whole idea, is that this is like a super fast moving Jolteon, right? But I'm going to be charitable to it. Only because I know how incredible the Japanese one is as well. And this is still good artwork. Like, just as is. So I think I'm going to give this a B. This is a B tier. Ooh. Dude, I love this music. Floroma Town, I believe. From Sinnoh. Jolteon V. And the last card. Oh, here. Let me put it on the tier list. We'll look at it at the end, too. I'll full screen it. Yeah, this is a B tier. I think it's about the same as the Leafeon in terms of my enthusiasm towards it. Yeah, I think that's good for now. Alright. Let's take a look at the Jolteon. Now this. This card is gorgeous. And I'm going to do it to him again. But they kind of just knocked it out of the park with so many of the Evolution alt arts that I have to. This is going to be an S tier artwork. Absolutely S tier for me. You just have the lightning. You're showing how massive this is, just sort of in a sort of thunderstorm that is kind of creating on its own. You see the house in the background here. I really like the perspective here. I love how many arcs of lightning are also just sort of going across. And it just really captures Jolteon's aesthetic super well. So, I mean, I know it's crowded up there, but there's a lot of good artworks. And I think I like this better than the Vaporeon. Just a little. So that said, let me switch over my camera to the full screen for this, and then we'll go through the final tier list here. I'll kind of rearrange a little bit based on stuff inside of the tier. Okay, Sylveon might actually go up here as my favorite. Tornadus stays at S tier. I think, yeah, absolutely, it stays at S tier. But I think I'm gonna put the Umbreon V is really good. So that might be near the top. I think the Flareon might surpass... Yeah. Arceus probably goes here. And I think Moonbreon might be... there. It looks good so far for S and A tier for the most part. And it's also, this could, since it's so subjective, it could change just based on how I'm feeling that day. So it's, you know, but this is like a general, what I like in art. Alright, I think I have to move the Espeon up more. I like it more than I thought I did. Espeon's going up next to the Leafeon. I think Zapdos is going above the Rayquaza. Mew's going above Noivern. Flareon's going down to... probably there. Maybe I'll do that. Let's look at C tier. Alright, so the best like C tier artworks are like the Vaporeon V and the Flareon Articuno. I guess the Mew. Let's do this. Alright, I mean, there it is. I mean, that took a little while. Let's see where we're at. Oh my god, yeah, we're almost at 2 hours here. But I mean, that's the tier list. This is the Sword and Shield Alt-Art tier list. Well, minus a couple sets. Which I can download this and I'll continue it next stream just with the remaining sets. We'll try and place everything in a sort of tier list within its rarity. But that's all I had planned for tonight. So I think without, you know, dragging on too much longer, it's already been 2 hours. So anyone watching the VOD's gonna be a little tired by now, and I'm exhausted. So I'm gonna go to bed because I am really tired. It's hard to say, because I've had, like, 3 sleepless nights in a row now because of this kitty. Because she just jumps all over me, wakes me up. But I wouldn't have it any other way, alright? But I just want to say thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you to anyone who did stop in, even just for, you know, half a second. Even if you didn't enjoy it. Whatever. I'm not for everyone. I hope you guys can see that I'm really giving this my all. And I really do enjoy doing it. So I hope I'm able to continue doing this, but, you know. Obviously, if stuff isn't getting reception, it's hard for me to financially justify, you know. Well, I say financially just make it work, you know. Because that's all I want, it's just to make it work. But either way, thank you guys, genuinely. Everyone who placed an order, even if it wasn't from tonight, just generally, thank you. It means a lot. And I hope you guys have a great rest of the week, rest of the weekend, and enjoy Halloween too. We are going to be streaming on Halloween night, which I think is going to be pretty fun. I know some people might be busy, but it'll be at 9 p.m. EST. Maybe I'll push it a bit later that night because it's spooky, so that people on the West Coast can finish up trick-or-treating if they have kids or something, you know. Because usually they're done by what, like 7:30? I don't know. I used to be out till however long. Alright, but I'll see you guys next week. And also, I put more singles on the store. Check out the store. Check out my Ko-Fi and stuff like that. Tips are appreciated. Leaving honest reviews are appreciated. Leaving likes, subscribes, whatever you want to do. I don't know how much it helps, but I'll let you know it helps my mood a lot. Cause, gotta be honest, it's tough. It's tough doing stuff to nobody. You know, even if people are watching it later, it's tough in the moment. But have a good night. Don't want you to think like I'm on a bed. I'm still happy. We're good. I'm just exhausted. All right. Have a good night, everyone. And again, also in congrats on the hits. I mean, we got David at SIR, so bye.